joining us right now is the CEO of Cheddar, John Steinberg. John, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Does that show an excitement for this election? What do you make of the fact that it was the most tweeted?
Well, it was widely kind of broadcast all over the internet. Many people had the feed, including us, and there were some really great moments in there that set the whole social media world on fire. Namely, Twitter said the #1 moment was when Trump said that he disagreed with Pence on Syria, #2 when he said that he's a gentleman, and #3 when he said he would jail Hillary Clinton. So there was a lot of kind of moments that sparked things kind of crazy on Twitter.
Does that translate to you? I mean, I know you were streaming all night. That was great. Congrats to you on Cheddar. Does that say to you that there will be better voter turnout?
Yes, it does say to me that there will be better voter turnout. Yeah. There was more engagement. There was more places people could see it. Twitter actually embedded the live feed in the bottom of the page as well, too. Everybody had it on Facebook. Every major network had it, and there was enormous amounts of engagement. Now, people that were going to stay home are going to stay home, but I do think a lot of young people were more engaged as a result of social media, and this will be one of the highest turnouts we've seen in probably decades.
Turnout for whom? Can you tell?
No, you can't tell. And the other thing is that Trump, I think, had 60-some-odd% of the tweets, and Hillary had 30-some-odd%. But that's related to the statements and the controversy and the excitement, not necessarily disposition around how someone's going to vote.
Yeah, it was 64 to 36, Trump, Clinton, of the mentions that you had. Now, is there a way to decipher whether they were positive or negative? Like, can you?
That's what she's saying. Are they positive Democrats or positive?
Right, no, but I just mean on the mentions.
And actually, I looked up. I saw a stat on that as well too. I don't quite remember the name of the poll, but each of them was about high 50% or low 60% negative for each of them. So there tends to be. I mean, look, there's a fair amount of haterade on Twitter, right? So people are negative, or trolly and negative in general in a lot of cases.
Do we make a mistake when we assume, because there's a lot of social media activity, it's really only young people? I mean, are older demographics engaging on Twitter as much? Because if you look at the other reporting, it seems like millennial enthusiasm for this election is down. It's a big problem for Hillary Clinton.
Right. These platforms do skew to people in their 20s and 30s. All social media does by its nature. With that said, there are plenty of people in their 50s and 60s that are on them as well.
On Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Don't forget the 40s.
Yeah, there were some memes last night that were particularly compelling as well. My alma mater, BuzzFeed, had this whole meme of Trump hovering in the background behind Clinton, holding the chair, looking behind her. You knew there was going to be a physical element of the memes as well. There was Bush famously looking at his watch during one of the town halls, the first Bush. There was pacing that's historically been part of these things as well. But, I mean, you know, Trump's movements were kind of weird. He probably should have just kind of stayed in his own corner given all the controversy going into this thing.
Now, is Twitter really just an event, a live streaming situation now as opposed to a daily part of people's lives? Because I think more people went on Twitter to actually see the live commentary that actually use it part of their daily life.
Absolutely. Yeah. It really shines in with Anthony Noto, who's the CFO of Twitter. Twitter is our partner. We're going to be live broadcasting on Twitter. He tweeted out that I'm not sure I'm more excited about the huge engagement of viewing we're seeing on Twitter or more disappointed in kind of the tone and commentary of this debate. I'm paraphrasing, but it was a big night for them.
Is there a tone that you can pull out from all of this about the millennial generation? We just had a panel of millennials, and they had a lot of differences, and we're going to hear from them again when we talk about Hillary Clinton this hour, actually, in the 8 a.m. hour. But do you get a sense of where young voters are?
Yeah, I mean, I think generally that you can say there's a lot of disappointment and frustration. If we look back to the Obama election, there was a whole kind of zeitgeist around hope and change. And here, I think it is inevitably viewed as a choice between two flawed and very disappointing candidates. It's overwhelmingly a sense of why does this have to be the choice? Why does this have to be one of the first elections of my life? I think that's the sense that you get amongst young people broadly when you look at these platforms.